All right. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome. I hope everybody's having a good evening so far. Welcome to our November advisor call. So to start off the night, I'm just going to go over a few, help introduce a few people because there has been a change in leadership since I think we've last had one. But hello, my name is Tyler Kearns. I am serving as the international president this year. I was a New York district member. Now I'm a New England district member. Did my entirety of undergrad at St. Lawrence University in New York, and now I'm going to Boston University in New England. I'm a first year grad student, so this is a really weird transition considering I had a class start yesterday. I'm gonna also throw it to my other board members and some of the international staff that we work with. So Liz, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Liz Seveny. My pronouns are they, them, theirs. I am currently serving as the International Vice President for Circle K. I am a senior at Mount Holyoke College, fourth year college student. I've been a New England Circle K member and Key Club member for my entire educational career. And I'll just be kind of sitting in the background and helping out in the chat if needed and dropping links or whatever. Thank you. Should I pass it to Sam since Sam was mentioned earlier?
Sure, go for it.
Hi, everyone. Can you all hear me? Good. Okay, I only say that because I live in the middle of nowhere. So if my camera's off, it's because I'm trying to, the internet is terrible. Rural Indiana, so that's my life. So hi everyone, I am Sam Wagner. I'm the Circle K program specialist, so I report to Justin, the director. My main job is to assist you all in any of your needs. I work with the board. They call me the board mom, but I do a lot of the everyday administrative stuff for Circle K. So if there's anything ever in the future that you need help with, chartering, dues, anything like that, feel free to reach out to me. My email is just literally swagner@kiwanis.org. So welcome and thank you so much for being here tonight. Justin.
Absolutely. Thanks, Sam. Also, my lighting is really bad. What's going on? Don't know why half my face is so bright, but that's all right. Thanks for joining, everyone. Justin Davis. I serve as the director of Circle K International. If you haven't heard, I serve as director for one more day, actually. Tomorrow is actually my last day in this role. I've submitted a resignation. If anyone has questions about that, I'll be happy to answer it. I'm moving on to a new job, but currently I work with Sam every day at the Kiwanis International headquarters to make all things CKI happen. Really excited to see Tyler, Liz, and their board just kick off a great year. It's been fantastic working with all of them, and they're doing fantastic things. And I'm really excited for Tyler to be able to give you all some updates tonight. I don't think Michelle Shilton, who is the program director for Service Leadership Program, I don't think she's on yet. I do think she's joining us. So when she gets here, maybe we can throw it over to her to introduce herself, but she'll also be joining as well. She's a member of international staff with us.
So I am on, Justin, but I am in my car.
There it is.
So I'm in my car, so I'm going to leave my camera off. But sorry, I just snuck on. I'll just say hello to everyone and thanks so much for joining tonight. As Justin said, I'm Michelle Shilton, Program Director for Kiwanis Youth Programs and Service Leadership Programs. So that's all of our program lines from Builders Club all the way to CKI and Action Club. So I'm just here listening mostly and learning, and thanks for joining us. And I look forward to getting to know you all a little bit better. Thanks.
All right, thank you for introducing everybody. Michelle, if I spelled your last name wrong when I was renaming you, I'm so sorry. But you're on as Justin Davis, so I just wanted to make sure we didn't get y'all confused. But welcome everybody. That's kind of like the team of the International Board and the people who work with the International Board. So if you need anything, kind of just a general thing to start off, if you need anything, just feel free to contact one of the five of us and we'll be able to help you. But to start off, before I do any updates, if people could use their Zoom hand, how many of us here are faculty advisors? Just so I can get who is a faculty versus who is a Kiwanis advisor. So I see a few faculty advisors. All right. All right, and then who is a Kiwanis advisor here? Okay, awesome. All right, and then I was gonna say, do we have any district administrators here? I see 2 here. Yeah. All right. Well, tonight is going to be sort of an introductory one. This is the first one that we're holding since a new international board has taken over in office. So we're going to be going through a bunch of updates with you guys, and then we're going to start off with some discussion questions after we go through all of our updates. And then we're going to wrap up everything and get ready for the next one. So the first update that I wanted to start off with and talk to everybody with is our new signature project on the international side called Brick by Brick. So as you may know, we completed our 5-year partnership with UNICEF for the WASH project, which was our WASH stood for Water, Sanitation, and Hygiene. We pledged to raise, was it 200 or 250,000 over 5 years? But either way, we completed our pledge, and now we are repartnering with UNICEF to raise 120,000 over the, Sam just sent it to me at 250,000. Thanks, Sam. But we raised that and more over the last 5 years. So we are repartnering with UNICEF to raise 120,000 over 3 years for our new project, Brick by Brick. So Brick by Brick is this new project that helps remove plastic waste from the coast of Cote d'Ivoire, and a company called Conceptos Plásticos based in Colombia helps turn that into durable building materials, which then are used to help build classrooms in the country of Cote d'Ivoire to help provide education for the children there. This is an awesome project that the International Board and our districts have taken on, and we would love to see clubs from all over doing a lot of projects for it. And we, as an international board, we just completed our first fundraiser for it called Bricks Got Talent. You might have seen it on our social media or in our newsletter, but each one of the international board members created like a brick superstar. And for a week that wrapped up on this following Monday, this past Monday, Halloween, each board member kind of competed to see how many can get the most votes. And we were able to raise $1,700 through that, which was shooting over our goal of raising $1,500 for that project. If anybody is interested in holding a Bricks Got Talent in their club, we think it's an awesome project that can be implemented in clubs if you want it. So we can create a toolkit, or we can get you some information on how to help out with that, so you guys can help support the Brick by Brick project. Does anybody have any questions on Brick by Brick or Bricks Got Talent? All right. Attendance form. Oh, that's right. Oh, all right. I believe Sam is going to drop into the chat now that it seems like people have stopped coming in. There's going to be an attendance form just so we can kind of collect your information on who was here during like the live session part of it, just so we can kind of like just keep track. And but Sam's internet is not loading, so hold on a second. So when you see that pop into the chat, please fill that out just so we can kind of have a record on who was here. But next we are going to move on into the reactivation of clubs this year. So if your club is currently listed as inactive, we are doing a new initiative this year that's called 22 and 22. So historically, pre-pandemic, the reactivation fee for our inactive clubs has been $100, but we said it's 2022, let's make that reactivation $22. So if your club technically counts as inactive this year, thank you, Liz. So that's the attendance form that Liz just sent into the chat. But if your club does technically count as inactive, the reactivation fee for this year is only that $22. And then you also have the dues on top of that. So if your club is currently listed as inactive and you're trying to get off of that status, please reach out to one of us, or please reach out to your district leaders, and they will be able to connect with you on that. Next is all about the due structures, and we are going to have a little bit of discussion about that a little later on in the night, but I did just want to talk to you guys a little bit about it right now, and that the Circle K International due structure has changed. So a few years ago, we on the international side voted to change how we did club dues and international dues away from that $600 or $450 base fee and move to an individual basis. So currently this year, our members are charged $24 from international for their international due, plus whatever your district dues are. So we will be discussing that a little bit more, but that's just in case anybody was still a little confused on that. We will be talking about that, but that change is official, and that is what we are going to be talking about this year, and we'll be talking about that a little later as well. Now on to more of a sort of positive updates away from dues. I want to talk to you guys about International Convention. So there was a little bit of a wait and a pause on announcements about International Convention, but we are happy to announce that we will be holding International Convention this year with Kiwanis International in Minneapolis, Minnesota. This is going to be an awesome weekend happening from June 21st to the 24th. And it's going to be an awesome weekend where we are going to be conducting international business, including voting on bylaw amendments, voting in the international board, holding workshops, and having a weekend of fellowship as well. There is going to be a lot more promotional materials being made soon, and we are going to be getting those out to our districts and out to our clubs. We're hoping to see a lot of people at International Convention this year, and we hope that you guys are excited about that as well. Next, yes, I think Sam has an update, something she wants to say.
Yeah, you kind of glossed over the most important part. Like, we're going to be with Kiwanis, if you haven't heard. So what does that mean for you all? You can actually, so for those of you that are a part of your Kiwanis clubs, you'll have the opportunity to attend a lot of the Kiwanis events. So that means if you'd like to vote, if you're currently active, there's a lot of things that this House of Delegates that are going to be coming down this business. So we highly encourage you all to register, but you can also attend majority of the Kiwanis events. So what does that mean for Circle K? We're going to get access to all of the Kiwanis speakers, a day of their workshop. So we're really excited for this opportunity and to take advantage of the resources that Kiwanis is going to allow us and provide for us. So please be on the lookout for more information. And we're excited that for a lot of you, you'll get to attend both this year. So.
Michael, you have a question or something you want to say?
Yeah, so I do. So this probably is something Sam might know. And I only know this because one of the other administrators posted it, that Taylor Swift will be having her concert during the same time. So the question is do you know how long we have our room? Like, you know what I'm asking, right, Sam? I see you. Like,
yeah.
Like, when is the last booking date for our reservations, essentially? Because I know, for Circle K people, they're probably not going to start really thinking about it until after district convention, and that might be too late. So
today we talked about that exact thing, because not only there's a couple events happening. So Minneapolis also has a huge Pride festival happening as well. So it is a big weekend. Taylor Swift knew her audience, everything. So let's pack it all into one weekend. So what that means for us is we're going to keep registration. We're closing everything down June 1st. So June 1st, yes. That's the cutoff date and everything. For hotels. So please, the minute it opens, I think we're going to try, we're hoping to have registration open February, early March. But as soon as that opens up, please, 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 please book your hotel. So just start encouraging your members. You all start thinking about making a plan, because what they're saying just about if you went to the Orlando convention, once it closes, those are going to get snatched up and we probably won't get them back. And with everybody coming, there's no guarantee you'll get a room, and we don't want you staying on the outskirts of the city. So June 1st is going to be the cutoff for those rooms. So don't wait. Encourage your members. And also we're staying at a DoubleTree. And I'm not sure if I'm like supposed to encourage this, but it is a suite, the room. So I think we can hold up to like 4 people into the rooms. There might be, I'll look and see on the website. But to keep costs lower for your students, they can just encourage them to double up, find a couple people to room with. So hopefully that answers your question, Michael. But yes, June 1, take advantage of it, because once they're gone, we're not getting them back.
Yeah, thanks. I'm a lot later than I would have thought, so that's good.
Yeah, and like Sam mentioned, having convention with Kiwanis is going to be an awesome opportunity for all of our members. So we're hopefully going to have access to more speakers, and hopefully some more big name speakers while we are at convention. We also get to kind of bounce off each other, hopefully when it comes to workshops as well, and some professional development opportunities. We are also hoping to push for alumni events there as well, so we can hopefully get students involved with the alumni network that comes along with being in Circle K and within the alumni, within the Kiwanis family. And also just aesthetic wise, we're going to have some access to Kiwanis Tech. So that's going to be something that is going to really bring convention to that next level aesthetically. So I hope you guys are all excited. Like I said, more promotional material is going to be coming out. So hopefully we can get your members hyped for that as well. All right. Next, I wanted to mention about Tomorrow Fund. So as you might have seen in our newsletters, the Tomorrow Fund applications are open. And there are a few changes that have come with it. But for those of you who might not know what it is, Tomorrow Fund is a grant that is offered by International from anywhere from 200 to 2,000 US dollars for service projects. So it's an awesome opportunity for our clubs if we might not have enough money for materials, or if we're trying to subsidize some of the costs for our service projects. Clubs can go onto the International website and start filling out an application for the Tomorrow Fund. Like I said, this time it's going to be an upfront grant rather than the reimbursement process that it has been in the past. So that kind of takes a little bit of concern off of clubs like the reimbursement system may have done in the past. So I definitely encourage everybody to start looking at it and apply if you think it will be, if you think your club can use it really well. Applications close December 1st, so you have less than a month to kind of get everything organized. But I definitely encourage all of our clubs to apply for it. And then last, for my portion of the updates, I'm going to tell you guys a few of the CKI international goals for the year. So thanks for popping the link for it in the chat, Sam. But the international board at our September board meeting decided on what we want to set as our goals for the year. And I just wanted to share a few of those with you tonight. So we have decided on a kind of ambitious membership goal for the year. So we ended the 2021-2022 year with just under 8,500 members. And we are going to be aiming for 9,200 members by June of next year. So by International Convention. We are also hoping to have 135,000 service hours served along throughout all of our clubs and within each club and within our districts. And we are hoping to have a goal of 15 hours per member. So on average across our organization, each member would have served 15 hours. We are also hoping to raise over $40,000 this year for Brick by Brick. And we are also hoping to have 300 total attendees at convention in June. So these are some pretty ambitious goals, but I'm very confident. The board was very confident in these. We are going to get more materials out for all of the goals that the International Board has set, so you guys have some more transparency on what we're going to be working towards for this year. All right, I know that I've been doing a lot of talking, giving a lot of updates, and now we're just going to move into our discussion questions. So as we know, we are now into the month of November, and Trick or Treat for UNICEF is over. So Trick or Treat for UNICEF is, for those that may not know, is one of the projects that we do on the international side to start raising money throughout the month of October for UNICEF, and the money this year would be going towards our project Brick by Brick. So I'm just going to also pop this into the chat. Is how do we think our clubs responded to Trick or Treat for UNICEF this year, and how the international side can kind of do it a little better on trying to get this information to our clubs? So just raise your Zoom hand or try to make yourself known, and I'll call on you. Did anybody have a club that participated in Trick or Treat for UNICEF? Brian, I saw you on mute. You wanna mention?
Yeah, I was just gonna say I don't know about everyone else, but I really struggle to get my club to support the international projects. They're so focused on local things that so I don't know what the answer there is, but I think it some extra education and outreach from international, I think, would definitely support the clubs that are really active, just not active with those sorts of things.
Yeah, 100%. I would definitely encourage clubs. Like, we have our international service initiative, so just because it doesn't exactly tie back, so in this instance, Trick or Treat for UNICEF, we have international initiatives, so like things like childhood development or environmental sustainability or food insecurity and hunger. Like, we have those sort of things. Like, so if clubs don't really feel like they're interacting with or doing something under international, chances are their projects can actually be like something that connects them to international. I think, but I do agree with you. I think it's just that education and engagement part. So thank you for bringing that up. Robin, I saw you on
yeah
mute.
Tyler, this is Robin. I think we ran into the same problem with everything else going on. It was difficult to get students involved in going out and collecting money. We did an online donation, and that seemed to work for us. We were able to have our members send it to their family and other students, and so we're able to raise some money, but we're going to continue that until December 1st, and hopefully we can raise some more money.
Awesome. Michael, you want to take it away now?
Yeah, so I mean, I was similar to what Robin had just said. I think, I mean, and Tyler, you can speak to this too, being a college student, and Liz, like, I think the amount of college students that actually carry around cash, let alone change, is kind of slim to none. So I think finding those different avenues for, something like Trick or Treat for UNICEF, that was a great idea, Robin. My club did not do Trick or Treat for UNICEF, but we're actually in the middle of planning something for Brick by Brick, a gingerbread house competition in December. So, building gingerbread houses in the best one. So hopefully we'll get some good responses for that.
So all I'm going to say is, now that it's officially on record, the International Board is not going to steal that idea, but no promises for next year. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, I'm just going to echo Sam. Please take a lot of pictures. That's going to be awesome. So, but also good luck with that.
Hi, Michael and both Robin, thank you for that feedback. We actually had a meeting with UNICEF earlier this week, and that was kind of brought up, what our clubs or I guess the habits and tendencies of our members. And I'm going to be full disclosure, I'm the same way. I lose cash. Like I don't carry cash. Who carries cash? So I find it difficult as well. And I'm always a champion for, anytime we can do an online platform, because I think that's a great way. Like most of us have our login information or whatever, our cards already stored. So it just makes it super easy. So we'll make sure that the next time we have our UNICEF meeting, we can provide that feedback and just continue to make it easy as possible. And I think we kind of noticed it too. The Bricks Got Talent challenge, it was really nice because everything, like we just could drive people to a central link and everything. And so it's easy collection. So we'll make sure we pass on that feedback to do more of the digital options and how I agree, our members are using it that way. So thank you.
I'll second. Yeah, debit cards and Venmo. Yeah. But that is something, like Sam said, we do have a central link at least. So that's something. That's something that we'll be working towards. All right. If we have no more comments on Trick or Treat for UNICEF, I just want to talk to you guys about how recruitment season went this fall, and how our clubs did, how we feel it went, and how we can prepare for recruitment in the spring semester. Just in my opinion, I don't know if spring semester has really been emphasized as much as it should within our clubs. So I kind of want to see if we can brainstorm a little bit here on how we can really drive it home with spring semester recruitment as well. But I want to hear overall how recruitment went and how it's going for your clubs. Rosalind, go for it.
So this is kind of related. I just didn't know where to put it. And I'm just asking for feedback. I'm the Kiwanis Advisor, and there's been a club associated with this Kiwanis Club for a while. I'm also new to this Kiwanis Club. I grew up in Circle K. Well, I was in Circle K though, but I'm having a really hard time having a consistent connection with the club. So like with the president, because that's the person that I've connected with, because I'm kind of want to get the information so I can make sure that they're registered, blah, 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 blah. So I was just wondering if anybody has any feedback, and that might also help with recruitment too. So like I reached out to a friend of mine who has kids in the same age bracket, and I'm kind of using those ways to connect. But I'm just wondering if anybody has any, if you can help me with that. Then I could probably answer some of your other questions.
So any Kiwanis advisors here that could help out and give some tips that might have worked for you in your clubs?
I know that we did an ice cream social the other day, which was kind of a fun way to bring the students together. And we did like a hands-on service project too. So those little things, meeting them where they're at, like a 6 o'clock at night, 8 o'clock at night, even though it's tough for us, as advisors, but meeting the students where they're at and what they'd want to do really helps, I feel like, bring them together a little bit more and feel like they can open up to you. I definitely feel like on my end that some of my students were concerned about the cost of dues, because if you compare Circle K to other clubs you don't have to pay for any dues, so it's free. So I was wondering if anybody had concerns like that. Is anybody in the same boat? And if you are, what are you doing?
Can I just say something? Like our Kiwanis Club actually pays the dues, and there's no district dues. So that's why I'm trying to gather the information. And I totally agree with you, Kathleen, about meeting them where they're at. My problem is I haven't got to that point yet. I can't. Every time I make a connection, all of a sudden there's no response, and I can only do so much. So
Yeah, but I like your idea. Like, I'm totally willing to go meet them at 8 o'clock at night, as long as it's not one particular night of the week. But yeah, thank you for that. But also, when I was in Circle K, we used to pay, like, for any of the dues, it was like 1/3 the Kiwanis paid, 1/3 the club paid, and 1/3, I think, the individual paid, if that helps.
We're in the same situation. We're lucky. Our Kiwanis Club pays our international dues for our members, and the individual members will pay their district dues. Ours end up, I think, a total of about $36. So they get to pay the $10 or $12, and then our Kiwanis Club would cover the rest. The thing that we did at the beginning of the fall is we partnered with 2 or 3 different organizations for a ice cream social, which was like the first week of classes. And so we split the cost of the ice cream, and we had close to 400 students attend our ice cream social, which was a great way for us to get our name out. But we also worked with the Rotary Act Club, because again, we tried to partner with a lot of our service organizations, and that helped both our clubs in membership. So trying to recruit, especially in the beginning of the year, really helps. And then something that has really surprised me is we have an Instagram account this year, and that has really kept a lot of our members who don't always show up for the meetings updated on what we're doing as well. So if you have somebody who has that skill, again, we're trying to meet them at where they're at. I have an Instagram account, but I don't use it, but it really has been really helpful to connect with a lot of our members and get our word out of what we're doing and what we've done.
All right, thanks. We're going to throw it to Ray and then Stacy.
To answer the original question about recruitment, I'm in Southern New Jersey, Stockton University. Their recruitment went very well this year. We typically sit around 50 members, 50 dues paid members each year. We had almost in the range of 100 people show up for our recruitment. And what they do, I'll preface it with they advertised free pizza, because, college students, who doesn't want free pizza, let's be honest. I'm not going to say I showed up just for the free pizza, but, because I usually just show up, but it doesn't hurt. So I got a bunch of pizzas there, but they sit out and they table. It's a recruitment fair with the college, and they table, and they have whoever's not at class, whoever can attend, sits there and recruits, and they have multiple people there at a time. So because if you just have one student sitting there, that student, 1, gets bored, 2, can only talk to so many people, and everyone shares their experiences. We have a very, very involved club. We usually have a couple thousand hours per year of service hours. So people who are in Stockton Circle K love Stockton Circle K. So when they talk about it, it shows. But their meetings are also at 8 p.m. at night on a Wednesday. It's been like that for over a decade. That has been Circle K night. It's stayed consistent. So most students don't have classes at that time of night. So it makes it very convenient that students can attend. So I think timing also is crucial, because if you have it on 12 p.m. on a Tuesday, 12 p.m. on a Monday, everybody has class. Everybody's, has a full class schedule. So having meeting times being convenient for people has helped. And they are very involved on their, they have a committee chair, like somebody else had mentioned about Instagram. They do have a committee chair that their sole job is to put out flyers and just let everybody know the events going on. So those are always on Instagram. They post them on their Instagram, post them on their Facebook, and they put them in the stories, because let's be honest, that's what everybody's looking at on Instagram. And that's kept people involved. And I think somebody else had mentioned something else. But that is, if anybody wanted to reach out to me privately, feel free. But they do have very good recruitment efforts, very good service hours, and that's what's been their successes so far.
Awesome, thanks, Ray. We'll throw it to Stacy.
Yeah, so I'm at the University of Connecticut and I just got started, but one of the things that UConn does is they have what they call as UConnect, and you can go and students can go on and they can peruse all of the different clubs and what they think they might be interested. So there's an automatic recruitment that the university does, which you get, I think they get a lot of members, but there's also an involvement fair, which I think they set up a table at, and all the students, you go through the main drive on campus and everybody can sort of get together there. They just did a donut giveaway to where they brought in lots of students. There were Krispy Kremes and, sort of gave those away. It's very difficult to, the university has, all of these, and I'm sure everybody can relate to this who's on the university, these really weird policies when it comes to cash. They just don't like students to give cash for anything. Everything's got to go through I think Venmo or Vimo or whatever it is. And also I would echo this, the Instagram and the social media keeps them active. So we have an Instagram page as well and keeps them active. I just went to our retreat in Western Mass, which was our district retreat, which was 2 weeks ago. And I went for one day and it was really cool. It was really fun. And you can see, and I just wish we could get more students out there, get them the opportunity to go to these types of things. I think our district is at also having the conference in at the I forget where, New Hampshire, at Portsmouth this summer or this spring, I think. So there's a lot of things going on that we're trying to get those students and more students getting. The problem with college students, I think, and this is one of the things I'd like to get some feedback on, is getting them off campus to do work, to do some service related projects, because we have our meetings every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock or at 6, from 6 to 7. And they'll do some little project, like, putting some gift bag together or something like that. But I'd like to get them off and have them, like a number of different projects in which they could sign up for and do hours. So we're kind of working on that and working with some of the other districts or members within the district who are active and have other things. So coordinating those efforts.
So we will definitely keep you in mind, because Liz and I are both from New England.
Okay.
I think Liz is a little closer to y'all than I am, but we'll keep that in mind. Yeah.
Well,
thanks for sharing. Oh yeah.
Okay, so Marianne and I talked to Marianne a lot about this and sort of try to how to figure out, how to coordinate some like local effort within those two states. So I think that, so definitely keep it, anything you have, let me know.
Yeah, and then for anybody else who's looking to help get their club involved with off-campus things, we have a tool on the international website that's called the community outreach form or report. That's what the old name used to be. I've been around for too long that I remember the old names for stuff in Circle K. But that's a great tool to use to kind of evaluate the needs of your local community and hopefully partner with local organizations in the community. We used to use that in back at St. Lawrence, and that's when we made a kind of a running partnership with a food insecurity nonprofit off campus. So I definitely encourage all of our clubs to use that tool. I'm going to go try and find that link for y'all, and I'll throw that in the chat. But I'm also going to throw it to Michael to share.
So I was actually going to comment on what Stacy said about Zoom, and Rutgers is exactly what Brian mentioned too. It's all on the down low. They don't want students using it. So that's actually very surprising, Stacy, that UConn works like that. Like they're like, use it if you have to, but like, I guess just because of the responsibility of the student and it going to their personal Venmo. Yeah. Going back to the original question, recruitment went okay, a little down from previous years for Rutgers, and I think it's because more clubs were kind of back into the full swing of things this year. And between Greek life and all the other clubs, it's just a lot. However, I think this is a pleasant surprise, is we didn't have that drop off that we normally do after the first few weeks. Like, it's been consistent numbers week to week, so that's definitely been a good positive. Going to the second part of the question in regards to spring recruitment, I think it's going to be a little more difficult, at least for us this year, because of how, like, the club fee used to work. We used to kind of prorate it based on a one semester type of thing, since we kind of had that ability, since they were only required for the district dues portion. So I think, getting $34 for, 3-4 months, but is going to be a little difficult. But we'll see. I know we have had a strong spring recruitment, usually somewhere between 7 to 10 new members, which I think is pretty good for that little amount of time. But that was when they only had to pay around $10-ish. So we'll see what happens this year. Was there another question in there, Tyler, that you had?
Not yet.
Okay.
You hit the two.
Okay.
Yeah. Does anybody else have any ideas on how we can really focus on spring recruitment into this upcoming semester?
Not a question on that, Tyler, but I did have something earlier for Kathleen in regards to paying. I think it was Kathleen regarding paying dues. I know New Jersey is lucky where, because of our Kiwanis Children's Fund giving, we get I think it's 4 or 5 scholarships from international. So we definitely, promote scholarships. I think really stressing the international aspect of the organization, because you can somewhat compare it to Greek life with less than half the cost. And just all the levels of leadership that you can, obtain on that, because of the international structure. And then I know we really push in our club, we're not focused on one thing. It's like, if you want to, well, a lot of clubs on our campus, we actually have a UNICEF club. We have so many things that are just singularly focused, that we basically do everything and anything. And if you want to bring something to the club, we'd be more than happy to try and get it done. So hope that helps.
All right, thank you. Pauline, I see you unmuted. If you unmute, I'm going to call you out. Sorry about it.
Well, my hand wouldn't stay up for some reason. But yeah, I represent University of Hawaii here in Manila. And these students have had a really difficult time recruiting. I don't know if the challenge may be that most of them are joining clubs that fit their major, like engineering, nursing. And they recently had a really nice sign up of 40 interested members. However, when it really came down to signing the applications or paying dues, we've had only one paid dues. They'll come out and they'll want to join as far as projects that we do a lot here in Hawaii. But to close that application with the dues, I don't know, maybe it's costing them too much, but we're doing the minimum of the $34, $35, nothing more. That all goes to Circle K International. So I don't know. We were running to another club, HPU, and that basically has pretty much folded. So we're trying to bring whoever's interested from the other private colleges into UH Manoa. But so far we haven't seen anything. So right now, UH Manoa paid members is about 6 of them. So I'm not sure what's going to happen with them. So any suggestions, we're open. I also have Julie Tam on board here. She is also a Kiwanis advisor for Circle K.
Yeah, does anybody have any advice on where to kind of bridge those gaps when it comes to, ooh, it says my internet is unstable. Can you guys still hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Does anybody have any advice when it comes to helping kind of bridge that gap between having members that are involved and actually having them pay those dues? Oh, I see Ray and Rosalind. We'll do Ray. Yeah, we'll go in that order.
Me? Well, previously, I mean, we had when we had the club fee, it was definitely way easier to get members in because we only had a member cost of $12 per member. This year, we've definitely had to hustle and work on getting getting funding to help cover, our dues are at almost like $36 per member right now, which is definitely a huge increase over what we had before. My chapter of Northfield Kiwanis Club, we're able to make a donation to help offset that. And I'm personally digging into my own pocket to help fund the club. I'm in a fortunate position to do that, and the club's in a fortunate position, and I'm in a fortunate position to do that. So we're doing that as kind of an interim thing until we can figure something out. We were in discussion with previous members of the International Kiwanis about actually having there was some type of training that would allow international to cover, or basically international to bill for the training, and then we could and you'd pay for the training, you'd pay for online training, and at the cost of what a membership due would be. And our school has a club budget which we could use. We could pay for the training that way, but we can't pay dues that way. So that was one idea. We're hoping we can reignite that. So if you're Pauline, if that's something, if your students have a budget and that's something international is able to implement, I think that's going to make paying dues way easier across the country. But in the interim, fundraisers are definitely a good way to go. And looking at nearby Kiwanis is not just sponsoring Kiwanis Club. We've reached out to a couple of the surrounding Kiwanis clubs, just kind of like I said, as a stopgap for the time being, to say, hey, can you help us out this year while we kind of work on a more permanent solution? But fundraising and other Kiwanis clubs helping out, and students are still going to have to dig in their pockets something, but anything we can do to offset the cost might be helpful.
Thank you, Ray. I know that they did do a fundraiser, and to pretty much, I think they're looking at subsidizing the dues rather than paying for the full dues. And I agree with them not to pay the full amount. I think we need the students also to be responsible for part of the dues. But I don't know. My understanding is that some of the applicants felt like, what do we get back from you, from us, from the club, like dinners or meals? But a lot of them do board at the university. So yeah, it's kind of tough right now for them. I don't know what the limit is. I know before it was 15 members to a club, and if we go below the 15, I'm not sure if that's going to be good or not. I guess we'll see what happens by December.
All right, thank you for sharing. that. I just want to make sure that I want to be respectful of everybody's time. We have about 6 minutes left. So we're going to keep going until about 58-ish, and then we'll wrap up if that's okay. All right. All right. Anthony, your hand's up. Oh, and also Allison. Oh, my 2 New Yorkers. Let's go. We'll have you two go.
Go ahead, Anthony.
Hi. Well, Hunter's currently in the reactivating phase, or needs to be reactivated, because I haven't really heard from them. But on the subject of dues, I mean, I feel like, they do have to have skin in the game. Students have to have that. I was a Circle K and we paid about $30-something a piece back then. You have to have an investment. When members come to me and they say, well, I can't afford, $20 or $30 for dues, but I see them at Starbucks every day, or they have a better phone than I have, and things like that. I mean, I understand students' life, is difficult, and books are expensive and classes are expensive, but they have to have a priority and they have to have an investment. If they don't want to be in Circle K and they don't have the money for it, then that's what it is. If they want to be in it and they pay their dues, then they get a budget where they can have a pizza party and things like that, which more than covers their investment into Circle K. So, I mean, I think that has to kind of be explained to them. And, the times that Hunter has struggled is because, students are not involved, or they don't want to pay dues, or this and that. When they are involved and they have that investment, that's when Hunter's doing well. And we will gladly help them with that. And as, like I said, as an alum, I mean, Kiwanians always helped us. They paid, maybe our international dues, and we paid our district dues, things like that. They would, help something. We're willing to help something. We're not going to cover the whole dues. It's not going to happen, because you have to have an investment.
Thanks for sharing, Anthony. I'm going to throw it over to Allison, and then.
Okay. All right. By the way, Anthony, Hunter is one of those schools that are listed right now on the inactive list. So if you can give me an update on that, that would be great. Because I have a dual role, because I'm now the district administrator, but I also am the Kiwanis advisor to Circle K's. But Elmira College, which I'm involved with the most, is a small school. It's only about 1,200 students. But right now we have dues paid for almost 60 students. We are doing going back to the one-third rule this year. The kids were lucky that the school paid the $450 fee in the past, but they said they weren't going from $450 to like $1,600. So they've agreed to at least pay, well, they upped it to $500 and the students portion, and then my Kiwanis Club is paying the balance. But we are telling them that they do need to think about some fundraising activities for the future. And I also kind of have a little advantage, probably because Elmira has a 60-hour community service requirement to graduate. So I tend to get a lot of students, especially freshmen, who want to fulfill their community service requirement. However, the key is getting them to stay for the 4 years after they complete the community service requirement.
All right. Thanks for sharing, Allison. So I do want to, again, be respectful of everybody's time. So we are going to start wrapping up. Thank you all for coming tonight. This is the first one of the year. We are going to have more. So we were thinking we might not have one in December, just because December can be a very, very hectic time for our students and for faculty advisors and everybody. So we're thinking we are holding our next one before most schools start for the spring semester. So probably somewhere around the second week of January. So definitely be on the lookout for that. We'll send out an official announcement for that soon. Please remember to have filled out the attendance form, which I just threw again into the chat. And then, yes, we will be working on a wrap-up email with all of the links that we've talked about tonight, all the different resources and all the different forms and all of that for you. And we will be sending that out soon. We'll throw stuff about Brick by Brick, some member benefits information in there, and just as a something else that you can start pushing to your current students and to your current members that have already paid dues this year. We have just released 9 new courses for the Global Leadership Certificate on the international side, and that has been something that we've been pushing for the past few years as a good incentive for paying membership dues. And you can get a bunch of different certifications from things like public speaking, conflict management, and all of that. So definitely encourage your students to check that out. And that will also be included in the wrap-up email as well. But again, I want to thank you guys all for coming tonight. If you need anything, please reach out to anyone on the leadership team for the international side. And I will see everybody at the next advisor call. Thank you, everybody.